Old man Woody likes the crooked cock.
I'm not necessarily trying to like shit on people that are like doing like the straight and narrow. Like that's great, but it's like I remember that like when I went into college, I almost went into college as a sophomore. I took an insane amount of math. I took so many AP classes, dual enrollment classes in high school that I almost went into college as a sophomore. I consider myself to be a pretty bright person. I went in for a music degree and I flunked out of college in like my junior year, and it's because I was working 60 hours a week because I didn't have any help at all. Once I was past 16, my parents were gone. They moved to another state, and I had no help in my life. And I remember sitting in like a practice room one day with my little saxophone quartet, listening to another girl talk about how like, oh shit, dude, like, do any of you guys work? Like, I'm so fucked on homework. And I remember saying like, oh yeah, dude, like, do you work too? Like, yeah, it's like pretty rough. And she's like, yeah, like they just upped my hours. I was only doing 12 hours a week, and now I'm doing 15, and I don't have any time. And meanwhile, I'm like tired out of my fucking blown out of my mind because I'm working like overnight shifts, like 10 hours a day, like 6 days a week, like to pay for everything. And it's like, oh fuck, like you're so lucky that you could go to school. Like if I would have had parents to pay my way through school, I would have graduated with a degree 100%. It's a fucking music degree. I know I can get the degree. But like due to the fact that I had to work on my way through it, like I don't know, it feels like I got really fucked, you know? And then to listen to people that never had to work try to levy claims is like, well, maybe that person is just lazy, or maybe they didn't accomplish much. Like nobody today ever tells me that I'm stupid or I'm an idiot, but I flunked out of music school and I was working as a fucking carpet cleaner making $20,000 a year. My life I was an abject failure in life in every single measurable way. And I got really lucky that I happened to grow up at the right time to get into streaming. And, you know, I knew a lot of stuff because I was lucky enough to grow up with video games and shit that I could turn it into a career. But I'm like one or two decisions away from being like a loser that is losing his house, has horrible credit, and is just fucked in every measurable aspect in life.
I think everybody is. Everyone's only a heroin addiction away.
Yeah, so I'm on the other side of that. Like I work during the day and I put myself through school at night. Now I recognize it's a little cheaper back in the 90s and 2000s, but I got 2 bachelor's degrees and 1 master's degree, and the whole time, you know, worked all day, went to school at night. It was a tremendous amount of work. You know, the thing I keep remembering is I couldn't watch a movie. I couldn't watch a single 2-hour show and not think like, man, this is a serious waste of time. I have a project due, a paper due. I have all these things that are occupying my time. And I feel like I earned my stuff. You know, I did that. It took 12 years of that lifestyle.
Sure. And that's awesome.
So, yeah and it's merit-based. You know,
yeah. I mean, like, I guess, like,
you wouldn't take off my straight and narrow. Well, actually, I worked so hard because maybe I didn't go straight and narrow in high school. I could have set myself up for success as a high schooler. But, you know, I did that whole thing. And then to say, like, no. You know, you had parents. Your dad went to college, and didn't leave your mom. So really, you didn't accomplish anything. It's like, man, really? Huh.
I guess like what it feels to me is that like if you're in a really well-off place, if you're born in a really well-off place, there are so many opportunities in front of you that for you to end up a fuck up at the end of that, you must have fucked up so much to actually ruin your life. Like I know people that took 7 years to get their bachelor's degree that lived at home until they were fucking like 26, 27 years old because their parents loved them and would take care of them and all that shit. But when you're on the other end of things and you're kind of like in a fuck spot, say like where I am, it feels like you're sliding down a fucking building and there's like one ledge like behind you or below you, and if you don't catch that one fucking ledge, that like one opportunity, you're fucked in life completely. And that when people act like everybody has the same opportunities because like I made it, you know, I did well, I could just as easily come out and say like, well look guys, I was a broke carpet cleaner and you know I made it, you know, you should all be able to make it too. The reality is like I could have been 1 or 2 mistakes away from missing all of this and just being a carpet cleaner for the rest of my life and blowing my brains out, you know. Like
I have such a different philosophy and experience than you,
man.
right? Like so in high school I fucked up, right? I graduated with a 1.98, lowest GPA of anyone I ever knew. Got into college because I could swim, which was helpful. And I got good grades in there. And then because I'm a jackass, got thrown out of the dorms. Grades tanked again, right? Fucked up. Went to night school. And, you know, then I started going to night school, producing. Didn't like my first career, accounting. Picked up a second degree, MIS. Produce. Then, you know, I finished MIS. Felt like I didn't know as much as the comp sci guys. Got a master's degree. You know, just keep going. You can fuck up. You know, choose the wrong major, choose the wrong career, get bad grades again. Life is long. If you keep plugging away at this thing, you'll get what you want. There is no, like, I'm on the edge of a mountain. If I fall off, then that's my last chance. Last chance? Why? Just do more.
No, that's so not true, though. If you're stuck in
I did it twice, 3 times. Like, how's it not true?
You can be stuck in spots in your life. If you're like in your early 20s and you didn't go to school and maybe you fucked up and had a kid or something, or you're working a job, like you don't always have the opportunity to attend a night school. Maybe you don't have one near you, or maybe you don't even have the money to really do it. Like where you don't have the extra time to commit to something, where you could be stuck on like a really
night school near you. My commute was 2 hours to night school.
Not everybody can make a 2-hour commute. Like, not everybody has the
Really?
access to transportation. Yeah, really. Not everybody has a car where they could drive to.
It's
A lot
not
of people
easy, but like, it's hard work. It's fucking really hard. It dominates your entire life. That was my 20s. Like, gone. Like,
yeah, I mean, like,
didn't have
some
a
people
20s.
can do it, and it's awesome that they can, but the expectations that we place on people that are fucked are so much higher than other people that when they don't make it, it just feels bad to kind of shit on them for it, I guess. Maybe I'm too much of a bleeding heart. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like life is long. Opportunities come. It never stops. There is no like, oh, well, slipped. You know, I'm carpet cleaning until death
if
now.
you're like 32 and you're like a blue-collar worker that never went to college, I
I'm
don't
glad
feel like you have many
that,
opportunities.
because I was 32 still in school, and I had lots of classmates. At night school, if you go to class at night, there's lots of adults in there. You know, people who were over 30 who decided, like, you know what? I've noticed that the path to better success is college, so here I am. And it's a pretty neat dynamic if you ever go to night school. The way that the professors interact with the students is a little different. It's like an adult doing adult thing.
Sure. I feel like if I were to look up outcomes, though, for people in their 30s working blue-collar work, the number of them that go to college is probably pretty low compared to the number of people like in their 20s or early 20s or late teens that like I'm sure the one-offs can happen. It just those always seem to be the exceptions, right? Rather than like this should be expected of every person. Like most people can accomplish this.
Those are the hardworking people. It's hard. I mean, extreme hardworking people are rare. There's plenty of people who will just give up after the first the first hurdle. And if the second one comes along, they're like, wow, these hurdles are never going to end. Oh, this is the second one, and they give up there. But I mean, what is the guy who jumped through a dozen hurdles?
The difference is if you're born into a really wealthy family, you might never have to jump like a really difficult hurdle. Like everything is kind of laid out in such an easier way in front of you that.
I mean, you keep saying these, and I'm gonna keep pointing at Woody's gamertag over there. He was born into a wealthy family, and they were like, "Fuck you, earn it."
Yeah. Yeah, Woody's
I mean, like,
actually a great example of this.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm a great example. I can point to myself because I didn't have help and I did it, and I'm doing incredibly well now compared to where I came from, and I didn't have any help doing it. So, I mean, I could point to myself as an example, but like, it just feels like
the one thing that I feel like you said that's held true is expectations are high, and I think that helped drive me a lot. You know, college was 13th grade. I was always expected to go to college from as long as I can remember anything about school, you know,
Sure.
and, you know, I bet Taylor's in the same position where, you know, from the time he was a kid, they expected him to go to 13th grade. And, you know, there were times when I can remember I'd make like $100,000 a year, $120,000 a year. And my father was just like, you know, there's going to be a time, Woody, when you want actual good money, you know. I know you're living the life with just working 40 or 50 hours.
Probably felt like shit.
Yeah.
You said that when you were like, are you kidding me?
And, you know, so expectations are high and they can kind of drive you, and that is a thing. But, you know, I also feel like it sucks away a lot of the accomplishment that, you know, if you say like, oh, your parents, you know, thought you could do it, you know, so therefore it really wasn't you doing it. Like, I don't know if I buy that.
Sure.
Okay.
We can agree to disagree. I mean, we can hammer away at this for like hours, but yeah, no, I definitely understand where you're coming from.
I know Kyle's every time things get political, Kyle's usually looking like, what's the next topic? But thank you for indulging me. I thought we'd just do this for the last 9 minutes, and it turned out to be the last 59 minutes.
60 minutes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, ended up working out.
I ended on that note. I love the wordplay.
That was the best shit I've ever heard.